my name is Emily Kutch. For this project, I interviewed 3 sales managers. The 3 companies I interviewed at were MillerCoors, Target, and Ziegler Automotive. The 3 people that I interviewed were Sarah, Brad, and Kyle. The first person I'm going to interview is Sarah, a district sales manager for MillerCoors.
What are your responsibilities as a sales manager?
Well, MillerCoors' sales managing team is focused on creating America's best beer company. Some of my responsibilities include elevating our industry-leading brands, earning preferences from our retailers and distributors, and embracing responsibility.
Perfect. And what is the structure of your sales department?
MillerCoors follows a product versus geography versus customer-focused structure. This is so the organization can map company offerings or regions served. That said, rising buyer sophistication, coupled with growing requirements to build consensus in the customer organization, is driving the need to be more customer-focused. The key benefit of a geography or product-focused structure is deep expertise of reps. It is eroding, though, as customers become smarter and complete a lot of the due diligence rather than engaging suppliers to do this.
All right, and who do people report to?
The salesperson reports to the manager, and then they report to the regional sales manager. Some reports will provide sales managers the ability to reveal and react to the salesperson's strengths and weaknesses more effectively.
And what is your hiring process, and what characteristics do you look for when hiring a salesperson?
We have different processes in which we hire people. We most recently interviewed 100 people in Chicago, where 1/3 of them will be located around the United States. They were interviewed by a panel of 3 people. To get to this face-to-face interview, the person has to go through a phone interview first. When hiring, we look for people who are confident and competitive. Someone who is involved in sales must be a self-starter, very ambitious, and must be a people person.
Perfect. And how long does the training process usually take, and what activities do you have your sales force do?
As a new employee, training is held in Milwaukee for 2 weeks. They learn about the company and do a lot of situational role-playing. We also do a week-long training seminar. After that, there's a weekend-long team camp filled with team activities and challenges. For example, there's a canoe race on the river to see which team works best together.
Cool. And what is the strategy for the sales force?
Our strategy is to maintain and grow market share. We also strive to accomplish individual and company goals.
Okay. And what type of leadership style do you follow?
We pride ourselves on a 3-tier leadership requirement. These include personal impact, grow talent, and deliver results. Okay, a leader should inspire others to become more and do their best. They should push others through leading by example. They need to be ethical, have good communication skills, and good decision-making skills. They should be passionate, confident, and dedicated.
All right. And what type of methods or approaches do you use to develop forecasts, and what are your predictions for your product level, the geographic area, and the time period?
We make predictions based on past data, market trends, sales effort, and our competitors' activity. Some of our competitors include Anheuser-Busch and the upcoming microbreweries or craft brews. Sales reports help us estimate revenues and determine which accounts to continue with. We currently have 89 brands, and we make sure to have a good relationship with each and every one of them. Salespeople are responsible for reaching periodic performance levels, so we develop forecasts.
And how do you motivate your employees?
I believe that motivation comes from within the person. Most of the sales representatives are on their own and only see their managers a couple of times a month, so they have to find a way to get the job done and do it efficiently and effectively. Motivation comes from setting goals and encouraging the employees to reach those goals.
And what types of rewards do you use?
Rewards vary, but most of the rewards are monetary incentive. Bonuses are given in accordance to how many sales are made. Employees are given a goal that they need to reach, and if they reach that goal, then they are compensated. Other rewards include things like free beer. People are also recognized if they made an outstanding number of sales.
And how do you evaluate your employees, and how often do you evaluate them?
The employee and the manager come up with an understanding on how often evaluation will happen. Most times I try to meet with them at the end of every month. Evaluation of employees is based on performance. I give them feedback on what they need to do better, and I also make sure to let them know if they are doing a really good job. We may talk about possible promotions or further training that needs to happen also. I also look at to whom and how many sales they have made. I will determine if they need to continue with these accounts and how much attention each account should be receiving.
And what are the biggest challenges of being a sales manager?
One of the biggest challenges is getting caught up in the everyday responsibilities. It is easy to do this, and sometimes I find myself getting caught off track. Time management can be difficult. Sometimes you are so concerned on the statistics and numbers that you lose focus on developing employees.
And what are the biggest rewards of being a sales manager?
One of the biggest rewards is seeing the success of my team members. I like to help them reach their goals and help them better themselves and the company.
What do you like best about your job?
The best part about my job is being around people. I'm very personable and love talking and listening to others. Also, the free beer doesn't hurt.
And what do you like least about your job?
The worst part about my job is all the paperwork, such as expense reports. There are so many papers that get piled up on my desk, and it gets in the way of other tasks that I need to get done. I have to find a way to prioritize. Sometimes I will start the paperwork, and after a while I have to leave it and do something else, and then come back to it.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Sarah.
Thank you.
Woohoo.
The second person I'm going to interview is Brad, a sales manager from Target.
What are your responsibilities as a sales manager?
Some of my responsibilities include delegating tasks, following up with the team, and following up with emails. I help develop the team through motivation and skill and product knowledge development. I put a huge emphasis on customer satisfaction. I need to make sure that employees understand that one of their main jobs is to ensure customer satisfaction. Another responsibility I have is developing a business plan. This plan covers items like the target audience, sales, revenue, and expense controls. I'm in charge of planning, recruiting, directing, organizing, and controlling my sales members to accomplish specific goals and objectives. I am also responsible for evaluating my sales team and monitoring their performance. This is done by creating a system of reports.
What is the structure of your sales department?
Target has an organizational structure. We have organizational functions that can be divided into 8 general categories. More specialized functions can also be found within these categories. The general categories include store atmosphere, cash handling, loss prevention / safety and security, customer service, refunds and returns, visual merchandising, training, and inventory and stock management.
And who do people report to?
If the employees had any concerns or problems, then they would report to a sales manager. As a sales manager, we do reports on our inventory. We need to know the level of effectiveness in terms of new products and revenues.
What is your hiring process, and what characteristics do you look for when hiring a salesperson?
Resumes can be submitted online or handed to a manager in the store. Once we review the resumes, we determine candidates to an interview with. After meeting with them in person, we determine if they would be a good fit for the company. To find out if positions are available for hire, people can either look online or sometimes we have signs up in our stores. When hiring someone, we look for certain characteristics. Some things that we look for are confidence, enthusiasm, ambition, and respect. We want someone that is interested in customer service. We look for someone that is friendly because they will be working with people on a daily basis. They also need to have skills such as the ability to work in a team, the ability to make decisions and solve problems, good time management, and good communication skills.
And how long does the training process usually take, and what activities do you have your sales force do?
All employees receive a packet on the company's history, facilities, procedures, key people, and policies. We want them to be informed and familiarized about all of this information. Each salesperson is assigned to a different category or department. They are trained to be experts in that area. They are taught the tasks that need to be performed, the priorities of the task, and the time allocated among the tasks. Training meetings and professional training conferences are conducted periodically. Employees are informed when we receive new products and when there are price changes.
And what is the strategy for the sales force?
Our motto is expect more, pay less. We differentiate ourselves by being a mass merchandiser of affordable chic goods. Our strategy is to reprioritize its categories Target built its legacy on, including style, apparel, home, and beauty.
What type of leadership style do you follow?
I like to use a transformational leadership style. By promoting this style, I hope that it will inspire my team to engage in behaviors to perform at high levels. The way that I lead is by example. I promote ethical behavior, coach salespeople, and conduct sales meetings. I want to create an environment where people feel comfortable around me. I use this leadership style because I want people to feel like they're contributing to the company and bettering themselves.
What kind of qualities should someone have to be a leader?
I think that a leader is someone who you can trust. They need to create a positive atmosphere and they should be approachable. They are people who lead by example and not just by words. They have passion for what they are doing and they have a commitment level for what they are doing. I try to be a leader for my team by having good communication and being a good influencer and motivator.
What type of methods or approaches do you use to develop forecasts, and what are your predictions for your product level, the geographic area, and the time period?
As a sales manager, I need to be specific in defining exactly what is being forecast, what geographic area is being targeted, and what period is being forecast. One forecast that we develop is based on the number of sales in each department. Different departments include food, clothing, and electronics. Based on past reports, store sales have not been doing very well. Online sales have been growing at a steady pace. Target is thinking about the possibility of enhancing the online shopping experience. This will help in better customer service, and that is something that we take pride in.
And how do you motivate your employees?
Every employee is inspired or motivated differently. It is my job to figure out how they can be motivated. Sometimes we do incentive games. For some people it is money, and for others it is just personal recognition. I make sure that we reward employees for their achievement and not punish them for their mistakes. By giving my team members responsibility, it can make them rise to the challenge.
What types of rewards do you use?
When employees reach their goals, a lot of times they are given food rewards. Other rewards could be pay raises and being promoted to a better position. Other rewards that are non-monetary include things like appreciation and a sense of satisfaction. During meetings, we single out people who have done really well for the company and go above and beyond what they are supposed to do.
How do you evaluate your employees, and how often do you evaluate them?
I evaluate my sales team once a month. We set goals on what they want to improve on individually and for the company. I also determine how well the individual salesperson have performed. The employees need to be updated with the latest products that are being shipped to the store. It is my job to make sure the employees are experts in their area. The evaluation process is also where I identify salespeople who might be promoted. I ensure that compensation and reward disbursements are consistent with the actual salesperson's performance. Other things that we communicate about are determining specific training that might be needed, discuss if there have been any problems, and try to find ways to motivate the employee. I also make sure that the employee can express their concerns and ask any questions if they have any.
And what are the biggest challenges of being a sales manager?
One of the biggest challenges is time management. It's hard to fit all of my job requirements and responsibilities into the time that I'm given. It is also a challenge to try and balance customer satisfaction with sales productivity. Sales coaching can be difficult at times too. One of my responsibilities is to manage my team, and I have to make sure that I'm not bossing them around. Another challenge is motivating my employees. Sometimes it's difficult to motivate the employees to do their best. What motivates some employees may not motivate others.
What are the biggest rewards of being a sales manager?
The biggest rewards are making people's days and working with people. I'm very outgoing and like to work with people. Earning a stable income is nice too. I also like the satisfaction of managing my own way. There are certain things and procedures that I like. It's nice to have an input in a company and have the chance to be heard. Another reward is helping my team members. I make recommendations so that work is performed in new ways. Flexibility is also a great reward. There are many opportunities for advancement. I also assign employees to different tasks and set the work schedule.
What do you like best about your job?
The best part about my job is putting a smile on people's faces. Sometimes I work in customer service and I love to help people out. One time a woman called asking if I could help pick out a gift for a gender reveal party. It's also very interesting to hear stories from people and working with my team members. Another perk is learning new things. Different situations happen every day and I get to figure out the solution.
And what do you like least about your job?
The worst part about my job is the hours. Days are very long. I have many responsibilities as a sales manager. I must be very organized and set my priorities. I also have to try and balance satisfying many people and doing what needs to be done. The third person I'm going to interview is Kyle, a sales manager at Ziegler Automotive.
What are your responsibilities as a sales manager?
One of my responsibilities includes tracking actual sales numbers with Chrysler to set goals for the month. Another is setting goals for sales staff and helping them achieve those goals. I also help structure deals for sales staff to present to customers. This includes pricing of the vehicles, including all discounts, trade-ins, rebates, and initial financing options.
What is the structure of your sales department?
We are a product and customer focused department. With so many options available to customers, it is important to be able to present what differentiates your product from the competitors. We also focus on the customer because the repeat and the referral is one of the quickest ways to grow a business. If your customer leaves happy, they are more likely to share their experiences in a positive light.
And who do people report to?
The floor salespeople report to the sales manager. The manager then reports to the district manager, who then would report to the regional manager.
What is your hiring process, and what characteristics do you look for when hiring a salesperson?
After reviewing resumes, we call the people we have chosen and do a phone interview. If we continue to like this person, we then ask them to come in for a face-to-face interview. We then determine if we think that person would be suitable for the job. As a former college athlete, I do look for people who are competitive and highly self-motivated. Sales is a highly competitive environment and can include large time commitments. So we look for people who show a high level of dedication as well as being very personable.
And how long does the training process usually take, and what activities do you have your sales force do?
We utilize a number of different training sources. We use Grant Cardone for a week in office online training. Through Grant Cardone systems, our sales staff are able to watch different series of videos ranging from the road to the sale on through different networking strategies. We also do month speaker series as an organization where we bring in different speakers whose topics range from everything from personal growth to professional growth. Some notable speakers we've hosted are Grant Cardone, Jim Craig, and Eric Thomas, among many others. Sales staff are also responsible for completing all manufactured mandated training. These are mostly online courses, which typically one classroom session per quarter. Our training system is a comprehensive, year-round system. We train weekly with Grant Cardone videos. Sales staff is required to watch 10 per week with the average video length lasting roughly 3 minutes. Manufacturer trainings are scheduled quarterly with timely completion expected and required.
And what is the strategy for the sales force?
As a sales force, we strive to present a high-quality atmosphere. This starts with the presentation of the car lot. We strive to keep all vehicles lined up and parked straight, as well as parked together based on make and model. We also strive to have clean facilities, as well as a sharply dressed sales staff. From the presentation, we strive to provide an honest and hassle-free environment, where the customer is comfortable with presenting concerns to their salesperson. When a customer leaves our dealership, we want them to leave with a positive outlook, regardless of purchase or no purchase.
What type of leadership style do you follow?
My style would be very much coach-like. As a former athlete, many of the best leaders were my coaches. I strive to provide constructive criticism to the staff, as well as a congratulations for a job well done.
What kind of qualities should someone have to be a leader?
The quality of a leader is to be very approachable. If you are not approachable, your ability to lead can suffer because employees may not come to you with concerns. The ability to adapt is also huge. Leaders need to be able to adapt and adjust to different employees as well as new challenges and situations.
What type of methods or approaches do you use to develop forecasts, and what are your predictions for your product level, the geographic area, and the time period?
The manufacturers will set an overall new car sales goal for us each month. We will take this number and compare it with previous months as well as that specific month in past years. Our goal is to beat our previous sales total month in and month out. The car industry is in a bit of a boom. More people are buying cars now than in recent years, and with that growth in Southwest Michigan, I would expect our business to continue to grow. We currently set record highs for sales totals as an organization, and I would predict this to continue for at least the next year to 2 years. Especially with all the recent developments in the auto industry and with new technology that not only provides better MPGs, but also high connectability with all our devices.
How do you motivate your employees?
At the beginning of the month, we set a sales goal based on past performance in the current month's overall sales number. The total of all individual goals will add up to our individual sales goal. Throughout the month, I will talk with the sales staff on what they need to do to achieve their individual goals. I can also adjust the goals to make them higher or lower depending on the salesperson's current sales total.
What types of rewards do you use?
We give out sales spiffs for reaching our overall sales goal. We also do a fast start, which will give staff a bonus if they are able to sell 8 or more vehicles by the 15th of the month. Bonuses can also be achieved by selling 14 or more cars in an entire month. Sales staff that have completed required manufacturer training are also eligible to receive spiffs on specific new cars set by the manufacturer.
How do you evaluate your employees, and how often do you evaluate them?
Employees are evaluated on their ability to achieve their sales goal. Other factors are also used, such as their utility to the company, which are marketing abilities, and their overall sales satisfaction. Sales satisfaction numbers are provided by the manufacturer surveys completed by the customer, as well as through various online review sources. We are constantly evaluating our staff. We expect our staff to perform at the highest level day in and day out. Daily evaluations are typically moderate changes, like change in attitude or a small critique on a recent deal. From a monthly standpoint, we evaluate the ability to achieve their goal and their customer satisfaction.
What are the biggest challenges of being a sales manager?
One of the biggest challenges is keeping the entire sales staff motivated and engaged on a daily basis. We have 18 full-time sales staff, and with such a large number of individuals, we can go through dry spells. As a manager, it's my responsibility to keep them upbeat and positive, because you never know which customer could break the dry spell.
What are the biggest rewards of being a sales manager?
One of the biggest rewards is helping the staff reach their sales goal for the month and for the year. Typically, when people are reaching their goal, they are also receiving a good paycheck week in and week out, and I enjoy seeing my staff make solid commissions.
What do you like best about your job?
One of the best parts about my job is the interaction between myself and my staff. As a sales manager, I have limited interaction with customers, but I have first-hand interactions with staff, and I'm able to learn so much about the people that make the company grow and thrive.
What do you like least about your job?
The worst part about my job is unrealistic customers. Customers are always looking for the best deal, which is understandable, but when a customer makes outrageous demands without backing them up with facts, they are unwilling to change their expectations. This customer can be frustrating because you want everyone to be happy and leave with that good feeling that comes from getting a new car, and sometimes that just can't be achieved. I learned a lot from this project. One thing that it did was get me out of my comfort zone and interview people face to face. I learned that there's a lot of time and dedication that goes into being a sales manager. They have many responsibilities. I also learned that there are many different ways to do things, and each manager had certain procedures that they enforced. I enjoyed this project. It was interesting to see the similarities and differences between the three managers. This project gave me an idea of what it would be like in the day of a sales manager.